Hi everyone and welcome back to Off the Cuff with me, your host Kaylin. I want to apologize because I know I said I was going to get on here and post a video on Sunday, and to be honest, I actually did record the video, but I didn't have my hair and makeup done that day and I looked a little bit of a mess, so I couldn't bring myself to actually upload the video. But I did tell you guys that I have a big announcement, and the announcement is that I am pregnant. My husband and I are expecting a baby in April, so we are really excited for that. So that's the big news, and we shared on social media this past Saturday on October 10th of 2020. So I wanted to make this video because I know some family and friends want to know about my first trimester. We obviously waited to announce until after I was out of that, as it's considered safer, but everyone decides to share at a different time and what works for them. So this is it. So let's talk about my first trimester and all the fun stuff. So my husband and I started to consider conceiving in April. But I started taking it very seriously in May, and what I mean by that is I was using ovulation predictor kits to narrow down my ovulation, tracking my periods and my cycles, which is something that I've always done. I'm someone who is lucky enough to have regular cycles. So, we tried in May and June, and there was a little bit of a hiccup that I'm actually going to talk about in my next video with trying to conceive, because I know there are so many people out there that are trying to conceive, and hopefully I can be able to assist in some way by giving you tips on, what worked for my husband and I. So, but we were able to successfully conceive in July. And on August 4th of 2020, I took a pregnancy test, and it was the first positive test that I had ever received. Obviously, I have felt the disappointment of not seeing the second line many times, and this line on August 4th was the faintest line. And when you're trying to conceive, and sometimes when you join groups and you're used to looking at pregnancy tests, you can even squint and see the faintest line. And so I had pretty good line eyes at that point, is what the trying to conceive community calls it. And I did see a line. I don't think my husband seen it as clearly. And that day we actually went to the store and I bought a digital clear blue that would either say pregnant or not pregnant. And I was a little nervous because the digitals require a little bit more of the HCG, the pregnancy hormone. So I wasn't sure if it was going to pick it up, because my first response was barely picking up a line. But to my surprise, at 9 DPO on August 4th, the digital came back pregnant. So that was definitely, a clear sign that it happened. Obviously, at that point, I took a million more pregnancy tests and watched my line progression. And a lot of you in the trying to conceive groups, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Family and friends, maybe not so much. So I'll talk about all that on the next video that I post. So today I am 13 weeks and 5 days pregnant. And I'm finally in the second trimester. Yay. I am still dealing with morning sickness, but that's okay. So let's go back to the very beginning when I took my pregnancy test. So like I said, I got my first positive on August 4th. And about a week or two after that, I began to smell things. And naturally, my nose sucks. I can't ever smell anything. So I could smell, when my husband and I would go on walks, I could smell what people were actually cooking on the grill, and I would know if it's either a hamburger or a hot dog. I mean, it was like a new superpower. But the superpower would soon become my demise, because very quickly it turned into something kind of negative, because I could not stand the smell of food. My husband exclusively had to cook his meals outside. I could not stand anything. At that point, I was not vomiting and getting sick, but I was definitely queasy and on my way. So food, images of food, smells, and certain words even made me queasy. Excuse me. So around 5 weeks, I began having full-blown all-day nausea. And there was like one day in particular that I woke up and I was nauseous the entire day. I mean, I thought I was just going to throw up at any given moment. I didn't. But the following day, I threw up for the first time. And in the beginning, it was, sometimes a couple times a day, 2 or 3 times, any time of the day, in the morning, midday, nighttime, in the middle of the night. So I know that we call it morning sickness, but a lot of people understand if you've been pregnant that it can be like an all-day sickness. So, also at week 5, I began to have the intuition that I was having a boy. I'll tell you at the very end what I'm having. Obviously, my family and friends know what I'm having at this point because we did share it on our social media. But obviously, having to deal with the new hurdle of vomiting, I was very concerned because I was getting sick 2 or 3 times a day, not really holding meals down or only holding down a couple meals a day. And at the time that I conceived, I was 82 pounds. I've always been very petite. I don't have any history of an eating disorder or anything like that. Yes, I've had medical professionals ask me because they have to, like the midwife that I spoke with had to, ask me. And I don't have a history, but I know that I'm underweight, naturally, just very petite. So I knew that getting on medication for the anti-nausea and the anti-vomiting was probably very important. So I really didn't hesitate very long to reach out to my doctor. And I currently am on a medication called Woes, and it's a combination of vitamin B6 and a sleep aid. And it's a slow release, so a lot of pregnant people know that you can take Unisom and B6 at night to help you sleep, and it keeps the nausea away. It didn't work for me, but the way that Woes seems to release was able to give me some relief. I'm not, vomit free. I still get sick. And obviously, like any first-time mom, you don't want to expose your baby to medication. And I was no different. I felt very guilty about getting on something, but I also had to really consider the situation and decide I'm not someone who can lose the extra weight. And it's important to get the nutrients and things like that. And I talked to my doctor about feeling guilty about it because you just don't ever know long term, what it could do to your baby. But so far it's worked out, and baby is checking out healthy and things like that. And Woes is able to not allow me to get sick throughout the night, so I'm able to get a good night's sleep. But I do have my episode in the morning, and sometimes I have evening nausea. Most of the time I'm able to curb it if I eat something. But sometimes the hormones are just raging and I get sick anyways. Typically, like I said, I only get sick once a day in the morning and I deal with nausea. Last Thursday, I got sick 3 times in one day. I don't know why. I didn't stop taking my medication. Just one of those days, and that's just how morning sickness goes. So in the beginning, I was dealing with breast tenderness. I'm pretty sure my breasts are up a cup size, which is awesome because I'm very small, don't have big boobs, so it's kind of nice to actually have some boobs. Sleepiness, I'm still dealing with some sleepiness sometimes. That's obviously why some of the delays in the video, with vomiting and being sick and almost feeling like you're hungover without the good time, it makes it very hard to want to get up, shower, do your hair and makeup to film a video. I would also deal with mild headaches on rare occasions. I'm not someone who's really prone to headaches. So with the nausea and the vomiting, I'm constantly having to eat. People have asked what my cravings are. SpaghettiOs is a constant thing that I always eat, and I love SpaghettiOs, but I couldn't even remember prior to being pregnant the last time I ate SpaghettiOs. And pizza rolls. But at this point, a couple days ago, I decided that I had to start making better food choices. And it's not that I was making bad food choices. I just realized that I could probably be more selective. I love eating fruit. Fruit was like the only thing that I could live off of in the beginning. Same with cereal. I wasn't making the best cereal decisions either. But I've had more food aversions than I have cravings. Chicken is very hard. Red meat is very hard. Any animal product is very difficult to stomach. Now I can actually look at it again, and I can actually look at commercials without vomiting, and I can talk about food without feeling nauseous. So it's the little pleasures in life that sometimes we take for granted. But today, I will tell you, the food craving was Five Guys, which was also weird because it's like red meat, it's a hamburger. And I told my husband, I'm like, a craving has struck, and it struck hard. And he's like, what is it? And I said, Five Guys. And I was so afraid that he was going to say, no, I don't want to go get it, that my eyes started to water up. And he's like, it's fine, I'll go get it. Five Guys was awesome. It tasted so good. So I don't have any real bump yet. I look mostly bloated, but every day I'm getting a little bit bigger, and it makes me very excited. So I had my first ultrasound at 9 weeks. Baby was moving around a ton, which was super exciting to see. And I know during COVID, a lot of practices aren't allowing husbands or an additional person to be in the room. Luckily, where I am going, my husband is able to go to every single appointment, and it was very special to have that moment. So September 14th was the day that we got to see our baby for the first time. The heartbeat was 176 beats per minute, and I just could not believe the way its arms and legs were moving around. So at that point, I did my first prenatal blood screening. I did the NIPT test, which is non-invasive prenatal testing for blood, and it looked at any chromosomal abnormalities. The baby was tested for 3 kinds, and we got the gender out of that, and we are having a baby boy. So my intuition was actually correct starting at week 5 that it was a baby boy. So I am so excited. I'm super nervous to have a boy, but I'm so in love with him already. I can't wait to meet him, and yeah, I don't want to cry, but yeah, I'm excited. So the husband and I are both thrilled. As many of you know, I started this channel because I had a pelvic floor disorder, which disallowed me from having intercourse. And my husband and I have been together since we were 15, and a family was something that we always wanted, but with me not being able to have intercourse, the future of a family was questionable, and I'm so happy at physical therapy. Every appointment was worth it at this point, and I thought when I had my first pap smear, I was going to be like, it was worth it. And the first time I had sex, I thought it was going to be, this was worth it. But being able to conceive my son and grow him, and that's really what made it worth it. I don't want to get emotional, but we're really excited, and we're really excited to have a family together. And I will probably have to go to pelvic floor physical therapy, as every person should after they give birth, once they're cleared by their doctor. I will keep you posted on intimacy things and how that progresses in pregnancy. Like I said, morning sickness has pretty much taken all my energy. So I'm excited for the second trimester. I'm excited for the relief. I hope that, baby remains healthy and we get to meet him in April. And I wanted to share with all you guys, and watch out for my next video. It's going to be about conceiving. I want to try to help as many people as I can. I can't guarantee anything, obviously, but who knows, maybe one tip or trick that I give you can make all the difference. So I will see you guys next time. And I want to say thank you to all the family and friends for all the love and support. Your warm, words and well wishes are so appreciated, and we cannot wait for this next chapter in our life. So thank you, thank you, thank you, and I will see you guys next time.